Yo, what's up guys? Nature Boy here. Welcome back to the channel. Today's video topic is going to be a discussion, and we're going to be discussing 5 things that can potentially happen in chapter 1056. Now, the last 2 chapters since coming back from the break, Oda has come in full force, guns blazing. They have been 2 of the best chapters we've seen in Wano or post Wano, and it really does feel like we are in the end game of One Piece, and I don't think Oda is going to slow down. I think from here on, we're going to skyrocket to bigger things. So these 5 things that I'm about to mention, I don't think all of them will happen. This is more of a and or scenario. I mean, more of an or scenario. So it's either or, and not all of these things. At best, maybe 2 of these things can happen, but really, I'm thinking either 1. Maybe 2 of these things, but no more than that. If all 5 of these happen, this will be easily the greatest chapter of all time. And I'm going to start with the most likely to happen and work our way down to the least likely. But these are the 5 things that I think can potentially happen in this next chapter. Also, I do want to mention, by the time this video comes out, yes, I know spoilers are most likely already out. However, if you know me, I don't ever read any spoilers. I don't check any spoilers. I try to avoid them. So far, I have not been spoiled on anything, and I don't know who's in this chapter. I don't know if we see anybody. I don't know anything at all. So I'm going into this completely blind. You could take that as is. So the first thing we're gonna be talking about is new bounties. I think the most likely thing to happen in this chapter is we see new bounties for the Straw Hats, like Zoro, like Sanji, for the Scabbards, for Killer, and everyone else in the Alliance, as well as obviously the other Straw Hats, Nami, Chopper, Robin, everybody else. And I think we're going to see some impressive bounties. I think Zoro will be close to 2 bill, if not 2 bill. My estimation would be around 1.8 billion. Sanji somewhere between 1.4 and 1.5 billion. Killer's unpredictable at this point. Yamato's unpredictable. One thing I do feel strongly about is I believe that when we get the bounties, Nico Robin's going to be 1 billion or higher, easily. I 100% believe that, because now we are in the end game, and Nico Robin, the closer we get to the end, the more important she gets. And we've already seen the Gorosei talk about her and attempt one of their most important missions in Wano, infiltrating Wano, was to get Nico Robin, and they feel that so now they're going to even put a higher price on her. So she's definitely going to be on alert from here on out. So bounties is most likely what I think is going to be coming in this chapter. Second, we cut to outside information on Buggy, Mihawk, Hancock, and the rest of the warlords. I think we've all been waiting a long time for this one. Ever since, I believe it was the end of Act 1 of Wano, and we saw Kobe on his way to capture Hancock. We saw unknown Marines on their way to capture Mihawk. We don't know who's there. It could be an admiral. It could be fodder. It could be anywhere in between. But we know Mihawk is ready to fight, and Buggy as well, and now he's a Yonko. So hopefully we get to see what happened with these 3 especially, but along with Weevil and the others. Hopefully we also get to see why Buggy became a Yonko, and I think a lot of us are just dying to find out what's going to happen between Kobe and Hancock, because I think Hancock is a lot stronger than Kobe on one side, but I think Kobe plays a bigger role narratively than Hancock, and he's more important to the story. So that's an important clash there. Maybe Hancock gets captured by Kobe, and that sets off another storyline going into the end game. I don't think it's going to be as simple as she just beats him and he turns around, tucks his tail, and leaves, because, like Oda said, he trimmed all the fat down now. So now everything that happens matters. So I really hope we get to see in this chapter, or at least a hint on what happened there with Kobe and Hancock. And third, last 2 chapters, one thing that has happened I don't think we've ever seen back-to-back chapters of this guy is Shanks. And I'm thinking in this chapter we can potentially see Shanks set foot in Wano. Now, chapter 1055 closed with an image of the red-haired pirates. We don't know if they were leaving Wano. It kind of looks like they were leaving, but I don't think they were leaving, because even the chapter before that, we all thought Shanks was just going to turn back around and dip, and we saw him again. So it's very subtle. Like, even his wording, no one knew if he was going to meet Luffy, if he was going to turn back and fight Bart. I think he's going to set foot in Wano, and hopefully we get to see that in this chapter. If we don't, we've already been accustomed to that the whole One Piece series. So if we don't, we're not gonna be disappointed. But if we do, that will be a huge surprise and a huge treat from Oda, and I hope we can see that. We all want to see more Shanks. And the fourth, we see Akainu, Green Bull, probably Akainu furious with Green Bull for the way he just independently handled things against orders in Wano and just did as he felt, and then retreated he retreated in a very embarrassing way that does not look good for the Marines, and I'm sure that would piss off Akainu. And maybe, just like post Dressrosa, we get to see Akainu meeting with the Gorosei to discuss where they move from here, because they just failed big time in Wano. Not only did they anger Kaido, which they did not want to do, but the whole reason they sacrificed that and decided to anger Kaido was to stop the awakening of Luffy's Devil Fruit. And they failed that as well. And they lost men. So they failed huge in their attempt at that. And they didn't capture Nico Robin. So the Gorosei right now just suffering a huge L. Akainu doesn't know what to do. He's pissed off at the Sabo situation with Green Bull, with the other admirals failing, Fujitora and Green Bull failing to defend Mary Joa. So I think we're gonna see him and the five elders regroup and get back to the drawing board and try and figure out what they're gonna do from here. And these are the best chapters because this is when we get to see stuff like this in between arcs. So we're gonna find out some information right now, and I think this might be a chapter where we get to see where the Marine, because we know Shanks is making his move, but rest assured the world government are going to be making their move as well. And the fifth one, and this is the least likely, but if this happens, it's going to be big. And this is, we see Blackbeard arrive or near Wano, just like Shanks. We saw 2 chapters ago. I'm a strong believer that Blackbeard is going to land in Wano. Blackbeard and Shanks are going to fight in Wano. And I don't want to go too deep into the predictions of what's going to happen there, but I do believe that Blackbeard is going to be in Wano as well. So by the time Wano is officially over and everyone left, all 5 Yonko would have been in Wano. From Kaido, then Luffy arrived, then Big Mom arrived, now Shanks. Is he going to step foot? I hope so. And then Blackbeard. So that would be huge. Just to have Blackbeard, Shanks, and Luffy all on the same island. Man, imagine that cliffhanger if we see Blackbeard arrive at the end and it's just boom, One Piece on break, and that's it. And then there are so many things that can happen from there, and it would just prove to us that we're in the end game and Oda is going all out. Now I do want to give a bonus one, and this is even less likely than Blackbeard arriving at Wano, and this is Shanks and Luffy finally meet. Now, if we see this is something that is literally in the making from chapter 1, 25 years ago, when Shanks put the hat on Luffy and said, "Come back to me when you're a great pirate." If we see this, I do think it will be some kind of a clash, not the most hostile clash, but it's not going to be as friendly, go-lucky, happy, hey, nice to see you again. No, it's going to be a clash. And I think Shanks's words in chapter 1054 when he said, I'm not here to reunite with Luffy after the Bart situation, indicates that he is here to see Luffy, if you know what I mean. Because he's specifying the way in which he intends to see Luffy, which means he intends to see Luffy, period. And I do think this is going to happen soon, if not in Wano, really soon. But I'm really hoping we get in Wano, and I'm really hoping we get in next chapter. So those are the 5 plus bonus things that I do believe will happen in this chapter. If one of these things happen, I'll take it as a win. If 2 of these things happen, I'll be really happy, but I don't think it'll be any more than that, because these are, I don't want to say they're mutually exclusive, but to get all of these in one chapter is impossible. We all know that, but even 1 or 2 of these, I'll be really happy. So let me know down below what you guys think is going to happen. Unless you've seen the spoilers, please do not spoil in the comments. If you haven't seen the spoilers, feel free to discuss down in the comments. Hope you guys enjoyed this video. I'll have a great video out soon as well. And have a good day, guys.